And no, this isn't radio related, but I just wanted to show this. I thought it was kind of cool. This is the Saginaw News, which is a town in Saginaw, Michigan. It's about an hour and a half drive from Detroit, like up to the northwest. They call it like the middle of the mitten kind of thing, although it's kind of like if you put your hand out like this, what we'd call Michigan. It's kind of like where your thumb and the rest of your hand meet. It would kind of be up in that general area. You'd have like the Saginaw Bay kind of out in the dead spot between my two fingers, my hand and my thumb. So it's kind of like that area anyway. So this is the Saginaw News newspaper from October 10th, 1949. So story behind this is my mom found this up in her attic of her home, which was built in like, I think the home was built in 1898 or something. It's a really old home that she's owned probably for the last, I don't know, 50 plus years. And she's now selling the home. And she had went up in the attic because she had always stored some things up there. And this was just laying off in one of the corners in the attic that literally she's never seen before in the whole time she's lived there. Nor had anyone else. It just kind of been buried under some insulation. And for whatever reason, it just kind of popped out. It was kept in this bag. So obviously someone at some time, which is kind of surprising because this bag doesn't look like it's from the 40s. Some of the writing and whatnot, so I don't really know how it got there. And neither does she, which is really odd, but nonetheless, it got protected a little bit, I guess, from, water and whatnot, although you can see there's quite a bit of, there are some water stains and it's quite ripped up and everything. It's not anything great, but I just found it interesting that there's definitely some interesting things on the front, especially the headline here. Austria stays in anti-communist field. And then also right here, Russians could knock down B-36's Navy radar men tell Congress. Some French Reds striking. Something about Michigan lend the state of Arizona some money, or they invested some money of some sort. Something about some small countries are fearing some atomic bomb ideas. So there's some pretty interesting stuff here. I'm going to flip this over and show you what I thought was really interesting too. These are some advertisements for it was called the Food Fair, which is definitely no longer there. It was on South Michigan, 411 South Michigan in Saginaw, Michigan. So you can see some of the prices here. It's pretty crazy to see at that time 2 loaves of bread for 27 cents. Another thing that really caught my eye was the price of meat. You can see the steaks there. And also look at the price of this carton of cigarettes. Philip Morris, which I believe is like Marlboro, things like that. Camels, $1.69 a carton. So that's pretty amazing considering that, I grew up in a family of smokers. And I used to go to the local party store down the street from my home. And even back then, my mom could just call down there and tell them that, my son's coming down to buy me some cigarettes, and they would sell it to you at like 10, 11, 12 years old. It really didn't matter. She'd give me whatever the money that was left to get like a pack of baseball cards. We'd get like tops of baseball cards or something. I was like 10 because it was like 1988 baseball cards. I have a bunch of them still. And just found it interesting that I think back then like cigarettes were like about $1.69 a pack or something, and that left me enough money to get a pack of baseball cards, usually like a Hostess treat or a Little Debbie treat, and then like something to drink. You could get all that for $5 or less. Usually send me with like $5. So I thought that was pretty crazy. Some of the other stuff here, 2 cans for 27 cents of soup, and then you have a typewriter here for $50. If I open this, there was another advertisement for Cadillac. Let me see if I can show you guys that. So yeah, really quick too, I wanted to show this this washing machine. This was a Maytag, $125 and up. Pretty cool washing machine there. Oh, here's a automatic clothes dryer. No more stoop, stretch, and pin. McDonald's appliance, North Hamilton Street. Pretty old school stuff there too. Some doctors and stuff. This was kind of like the professional section, I guess, of the newspaper. Dentist, upholstery. More things here on the news. Here's something about Greyhound. Let's see where you can go. This is kind of cool. So round trip from Saginaw, Michigan on a Greyhound bus to Seattle, under $100. Denver, St. Louis, pretty cheap to go to St. Louis. Chicago, less than $10. Florida, $34.30. Why there's no California on here? You could go to Detroit from Saginaw for $4. Pretty crazy. Pittsburgh. No, nothing really far away as far as like California or anything. Seattle, Washington, the farthest pretty much away. So no Texas or anything like that. So something about dry cleaning right here. Some Undertaker. That's pretty crazy. Wallpaper and art store. So just some really cool history here. Aspirin, bottled milk. There was also something with Wonder Bread. Let me find that page and I'll show you guys the Cadillac.